Definitely be tripping. What you feel like? What you feel like he did? What was the biggest mistake Tony made? You feel like?
In the fight,
Yeah,
I didn't like the fact that he was on them ropes like that. But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know if that's an issue for him because I don't know how he fight. But
It
he
was
like
definitely
old
an
boy
issue.
was just closing him out,
Yeah,
and he was. It seemed like he was waiting more for him to attack first and just getting in there or something. I don't know.
right. Nah, it was definitely an issue for sure. You know what I'm saying? Contender regime, boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? Shout out to my brother D Luckett in the building. What's good, man? Hey, just a look. Say what's cracking, bro. Hey, what's good? Shout out to my brother Justin Coleman in the building. What's good, man? I appreciate y'all for pulling up. I just want to hit y'all with a quick post fight reaction. Hold on, let me see what Jamel talking about. Put him back in. That's that work. Hey, look, I gotta. Hey, make sure y'all hit that like button too. Make sure y'all smash that like button for your boy. I appreciate it. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. Now look, shot number one, I predicted Tony Harris. I told y'all this was a 50-50 fight. We all knew that Tszyu was the favorite and Tony Harrison was the underdog. Stylistically, I picked Tony Harrison just because I felt like he, with the 5.5 reach advantage, we know that Tony Harrison is a superior boxer. I felt like he was going to be able to keep this fight on the outside, keep Tszyu at the end of his jab, be able to box effectively and control the pace of the fight, control the ring, just show overall ring generalship. That's what I expected. However, I want to give kudos to Tszyu for number one being able to cut the ring off. That was pivotal against a guy, and it was a smaller ring tonight. I didn't know the ring was gonna be this small. Um, and Tim Tszyu really took advantage of that, which is what he was supposed to do. So kudos to Tim Tszyu for being able to cut the ring off, cornering Tony Harrison, making him punch when he didn't want to punch, putting pressure on him and making him uncomfortable. And Tony Harrison fell into the same trick bag that he normally falls into, whether it be him either not being focused or being undisciplined, or whether it be him not really letting his hands go and being as offensive as he should be. I thought he was too passive. I thought he was focusing too much on counterpunching and not really being first. We understand that Tony Harrison is a counterpuncher, but sometimes, bro, you have to be first and let your jab off. Set everything up behind your jab. Let your jab off first. You don't gotta sit back and wait on your opponent all the time. Let your shit off first, and then bring the right hand behind it. I was calling for the right hand, the right uppercut the whole time. He only threw the right uppercut maybe 3 times, and all 3 times they landed. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the OG Mr. Munt in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, man, I was wrong as fuck. Bro, you wasn't the only one. I was wrong too. I predicted Tony Harrison to win, but look, let's keep it 100 though. I think we all understood why Tszyu was the favorite in this fight. But I think we're also looking at it from the perspective of, all right, stylistically, Tszyu, we know he gonna come forward. We seen him in previous fights. We seen him in the Gaucher fight. He allowed Gaucher to really get shit off that he shouldn't have been able to get off because Tszyu just wasn't throwing a whole lot of punches. He would come forward, but he wasn't coming for even in this fight. And that's what's even more disappointing for Tony Harrison because Tszyu was coming forward, but he wasn't throwing the jab consistently. He threw it every now and then, but he wasn't throwing the jab consistently. Tszyu wasn't going to the body consistently coming forward. He wasn't really breaking Tony Harrison down, but he was smart. What I got to give Tszyu credit for is he picked his shots very well. He didn't waste no punches. Tszyu was very economical and very smart with his punch selection. And as you seen, I think it was maybe like the 7th round. when Tim Tszyu really started to turn it up because he had been conserving energy and had been pacing himself throughout that entire fight, not wasting no punches, throwing only meaningful shots. I gave Tony Harrison the first round, and then I didn't give him another round up until the sixth. That was the last round I gave Tony Harrison. I think Tony Harrison only won 2 rounds in this whole fight. Shout out to my brother Big Tex 33 in the building. What's good? Said Tony Chin trash. Absolutely. Shout out to the brother Robert Justice in the building. What's good? David say I'm right in the building. What's good? I appreciate you for pulling up. Shout out to the brother Warriors Boxing LLC in the building. What's good? Kenny Dyer in the building. What's good, man? I appreciate y'all boys for pulling up. Said I didn't like Harrison's corner direction. And they gave him absolutely no instruction. Nothing clear, nothing concise. I didn't really hear anything substantial that his corner brought to the table to help him make adjustments. Now, I'm not going to put everything on his corner because Tony Harrison is a trainer himself. Let's keep in mind that Tony Harrison trains one of the top 5 pound-for-pound women's fighters in the sport, Alicia Baumgardner. So this guy has a high boxing IQ, but I'm thinking that maybe Tony Harrison is just past it. Yeah, it's a shout out to the brother A Bull in the building. He said Tony looked like he declining. That's exactly what I was just saying, bro. I agree with you. I think it's at this point, I don't think it's a lack of he said facts. He from a fighting family. Yeah. I don't think it's a lack of ring IQ or nothing like that. I don't think it was anything from his corner, even though his corner didn't really give shit to him, significant to help him make adjustments. I think he just declining, bro. That's what it is. Like, it seemed like the reflexes wasn't really there. We're not making no excuses. We not make absolutely no excuses. However, we just observing what we saw tonight. I think Tony was absolutely declining, and I think he done, man. I think he need to just focus on training Alicia and other fighters. Shout out to the brother Captain in the building. What's good? Said Tony allowed Tim to cut the ring off way too easily. Absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't see any lateral movement. Jermell Charlo actually brought that up as he was a special guest commentator. He talked about how one of the problems that Tony Harrison had in the second round was a lack of lateral movement. He wasn't having no lateral movement to like circle around and use his height and his reach advantage. He wasn't using none of that, bro. He was just being stagnant and stationary. And Tim Tszyu, who fought a very smart and economical fight, he took advantage of that, bro. He didn't waste no punches. He stayed steadfast. He was patient. He cut the ring off, and he let Tony kind of overexert himself and took advantage. Shout out to the brother Brent Woods in the building. What's good? Said Tony's strength was taken away from his his movement. So he was just a pawn tonight. I absolutely agree. Shout out to the OG Mr. Mom back in the super chat, coming through and showing love. He said, salute to Tim, but he's gonna have a hard time with Mel. Absolutely. He said he don't get tired. He one of the most athletic fighters in boxing, and if you get Mel on the ropes, it's a setup. Yeah, because he throwing big lefts and rights and uppercuts and all type of shit that you don't want to get hit with off them ropes. That's a fact. We saw that with the Brian Castano fight in the first and the second fight. In the first fight, when he hurt him in the second round, it was when he was on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? Jermell Charlo, dangerous on the ropes. I don't like Tim particularly getting on the ropes, but he's a dangerous fighter on them ropes. Shout out to the brother Ernie V in the building. Let's talk about Tim Tszyu versus Jermell Charlo. What are y'all initial thoughts on Tim Tszyu versus Jermell Charlo? I'll be honest with y'all, man, and look, before I say what I'm going to say, I was impressed with Tim Tszyu tonight. I was impressed with his confidence, with his patience. If you notice in this fight, Tim Tszyu did not show any sign of fatigue whatsoever. Shout out to the brother Dank Father in the building. What's good? Tim Tszyu didn't show any sign of fatigue. He didn't show any sign of antsy, or what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he never got like outside of character. He never deviated from the game plan. He was patient. He was focused. He stuck to the game plan. He kept walking forward. You never saw him like getting tired. You never saw Tim Tszyu breathe hard in this fight. So I got to give him credit for that because he made every punch count. He didn't tire himself out. He was very economical. With that being said, I don't think he lasts more than 8 rounds with Jermell Charlo. Said it'll be competitive for about 9 rounds. He looks tough. That's a good assessment. I think he gets whacked in 6. Urgency. Mr. Munn said, I think Derrick James is going to make Mel push him backwards. I agree. Said Tim gets hit. That's facts. That's a great point, Mr. Munn, because I don't think Tim Tszyu can really fight going backwards. Said he knew Tony Tank would run out. That's a fact. Godfred Obing said who won? Tim Tszyu won by 9th round stoppage. It was funny because Jermell Charlo had when Jermell Charlo stopped Tony Harrison in the second fight, it was very similar to Tim Tszyu's performance to his stoppage because Jermell had him on the ropes and he threw consecutive like 3 and 4 left uppercuts. But Tim Tszyu threw consecutive right uppercuts to stop Tony Harrison in this fight. So I thought that was ironic. But said Jermell gonna catch him with a right hand off the jab. Tony had a good jab, but he didn't put no power behind the shots. Facts. And when Tony did throw the straight and overhand right, he landed it, bro. And Jermell Charlo has a phenomenal straight right. He has a great 1-2. One of the best left hooks in boxing, which Tony landed the left hook sometimes too. Said, I think Tony is shot. I agree. I don't think Tim Tszyu lasts more than 8 rounds. Maybe 9 with Jermell. I think it's going to be very similar to the Brian Castano fight. But it's going to be worse, though, for Tim Tszyu because his punch output isn't as high as Brian Castano. I don't think he has the sense of urgency, the punch output, the activity that a Brian Castano has. So I think Jermell Charlo going to be able to get off more of the stuff that he want to get off on Tim Tszyu than he was. I think he'll have an easier night with Tim Tszyu than he did with Brian Castano. But it's going to be a good-ass fight because Tim Tszyu going to come forward. We haven't really seen him fight going backwards. We know he going to throw power shots when he do throw. Shout out to the Queen Lala D in the building. Salute to you. Appreciate you for pulling up. We know he going to throw big power shots, but we know he going to be economical. Jermell Charlo, he can be economical too, but he going to let his hands go when he need to. In those crucial moments, he going to let his hands go. And he's very accurate. Said maybe Tony isn't shot and Tim is just a great fighter. Tim cut off the ring beautifully. Tony could move. Shout out to Mr. Fantastic. I think it's a bit of both. I think Tony is a really good fighter, and he impressed me a lot. But I also think Tony Harrison is not the same Tony Harrison that fought Jermell Charlo 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. I don't think he's the same Tony Harrison. Said Castano can beat Tim. I think he could too. That would actually be a good ass fight. Like once Jermell Charlo and Tim Tszyu do fight, and of course I'll do an official in-depth analysis and break down a prediction on that fight. But I got Jermell Charlo just at face value. I got him winning that fight. I think 99% of us do, right? The undisputed champion. I have him ranked number 1 pound for pound. So with that being said, if he does win that fight, I would love to see a Tim Tszyu versus Brian Castano fight. I think that would be incredible. I think that fight would be super action-packed. I think you're going to get skill on the inside. That's going to be a great inside fight. I would love to see that. And imagine the winner of that fight fighting in Errol Spence Jr. when he moves up to 154. Incredible. Great fight. Sebastian Fundora, I think after Jermell Charlo gets rid of Tim Tszyu, I think that'll be a great fight for Jermell. And then, by that time, Earl should move up. And I think Jermell going to move up too. Shout out to the brother Orod in the building. What's good? Said, nah, man. Castano gave issues to JC. Oh, Jamel Charlo with the pressure. And let's be honest, Tim is way better. I disagree. I disagree. I think Brian Castano is a more skilled fighter than Tim Tszyu. I think Brian Castano is a more skilled fighter than Tim Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I think they both brought pressure, but the difference is the punch output. Brian Castano's punch output was way higher than Tim Tszyu. That's one of the issues with Tim Tszyu. Like Tim Tszyu, he's good at cutting the ring off, and tonight they fought in a significantly smaller ring than you would normally see. Tim Tszyu can cut the ring off, but I think he weight too much. For somebody like Jamel Charlo, like you can't just be sitting back and just saving your energy because Mel gonna get off on you. He gonna get off on you. He gonna make you fight. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be going to the body. He gonna be shooting a jab. He gonna be moving. He's gonna force you to exert energy. He's not like Jamel Charlo is way more athletic than Tony Harrison. He gonna make Tim Tszyu work. You're gonna see a way different fight than what you saw tonight. It's gonna be way different. Way different. Said Mel gonna stop him. He's standing right in front of you with them loaded punches. Facts. Facts. I didn't see, and granted, tonight there was really no reason for it. There was no reason for Tim Tszyu to sidestep left or right. There was no reason for him to do like no elaborate fancy footwork or nothing like that. But even though there was no reason for him to do that tonight, I can't say that I've seen him do that in any of his previous fights. So I don't expect him to get in the ring with Jamel Charlo and all of a sudden turn into Floyd Mayweather with his feet. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll be right in front of Jamel Charlo, and I don't think he'll be able to last 12 rounds with Jamel Charlo. Said, I thought Tim outboxed Harrison easily. He countered him beautifully. I don't think Castano is better than Tim. Hey man, you entitled to your own opinion, and that's cool. I would, like I said, after Jamel Charlo beats Tim Tszyu, which he will, I would like to see Tim Tszyu fight Brian Castano. That's a great fight. That's a great fight. I would love to say Lubin can beat Tim Tszyu. I agree with Brent Woods. I agree with you, bro. I think Lubin. I would love to see Erickson Lubin versus Tim Tszyu. That's a great fight. That's a great fight. Said that little ring against a shy fighter, he ain't his father. Man, y'all really bringing some very unique perspectives. I really appreciate y'all. This one of the reasons I get on here and do these post-fight reactions, so I can just kind of get y'all ideas and thoughts, man, and see what y'all saw in the ring, and just kind of see it from a different angle. Said Jamel using angles will frustrate Tim all night. I totally agree. Shout out to the brother Soul Lyric in the building. Said, my dog, the home of the star. Big facts. What it do? Much love. You already know it's Texas business going on, man. You already know what's going on. Let me see. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Hey, make sure, look, it's 85 of y'all in here right now. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't hit the like button already. I appreciate it. It's 90 of y'all in here right now. Make sure you hit the like button. I appreciate it. You feel me? Said, gotta give Tim his credit, though. I didn't expect that. Absolutely. Tim Tszyu really impressed me. Tim Tszyu really did impress me. I gotta give him his credit. Tim Tszyu impressed me. You know, he was sharp. He didn't waste no punches, like I said. I think he put forth a great performance. He put forth the type of performance that you would want to put forth if you're like trying to get a Jamel Charlo fight. If you want the people to be excited about your fight versus Jamel Charlo undisputed, like that was the type of performance that Tim Tszyu needed to put on, and he did that. So we got to give him credit for it. We got to give him credit. Says his patience surprised me. Yeah. Shout out to the brother Stephen Agnew in the building. What's good? Says Tszyu would feed Castano and Charlo to said Zoo would feed Castano and Charlo to the crocodiles easy. Harrison crap. That was a shit effort. He was gone the first time he got hit. Said rocking with you from Jersey, one of the most authentic channels. Salute, brother. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to New Jersey. I got a homie from New Jersey, man. Shout out to y'all. Said honestly, after this fight, I want to see Mel. Hold on, it said honestly, after this fight, I want to see Mel go to 160 and force his brother to go up to 168, so Mel can be undisputed at 160 as well. Man, that would be ideal for Jermell to move up to 160. Jamal goes up to 168, and Earl goes up to 154. That would be the ideal situation. Shout out to the brother Gladiator Channel in a super chat coming through and showing love. I appreciate you, my brother. He said, no fighter is the same after fighting a Derrick James fighter. He teach his fighters how to end careers. That's absolutely correct. You know, I don't think Derrick James goes in there with the intentions to like put guys in the hospital and shave years off their career, but the way he teaches his fighter, the way he teaches Errol Spence, the way he teaches Frank Martin, the way he teaches Jamel Charlo, the same shit he about to show to Anthony Joshua. Hopefully it ain't too late for him. But he teaches us a level of technique, bruh, to where it's like there's no rushing your punches. There's no doing no extra or wasted movement. Everything counts. We working off the jab. We going to the body. We placing our punches correctly. We're being accurate. We're focusing on time and not speed. Timing, not speed. Not quickness, not speed, but we're focusing on timing and accuracy and punch placement and consistency and stamina and conditioning and endurance and longevity throughout that fight. So when the fight gets to the 9th and the 10th round, you still got juice. Your opponent is wearing down. That's when you start breaking orbital bones and ribs and, you know, fucking up clavicles and shit like that. That's when you start like putting boys in the hospital. And that's just a product of Derrick James. That's just a product of Derrick James. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's just come with the territory of being a Derrick James fighter on an elite level. When you follow the rules, the results they show. Said, my fear is if Mel don't want to move up, he'll eventually have to fight Earl at 154. Yeah, me and my girl, we was just talking about that. And we done had this conversation before about Earl moving up to 154 and Jamel Charlo, you know, feeling like that's his division. That's his natural weight. He don't want to move. I think, you know, because they both have Derrick James as their coach, I think they'll work something out. I wouldn't want to see them two fight knowing that they have the same coach. I don't want to see a situation like Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya when Floyd Sr. didn't, when, you know, because Floyd Sr. coached both Floyd and Oscar, he had to sit out that fight. So Oscar couldn't use him because Floyd Sr. wasn't going to coach Oscar De La Hoya versus his son. And of course, Floyd, he had Roger Mayweather. So he wasn't missing nothing, but Oscar was missing something. So in that case, we know that Derrick James would coach Earl over Jamel Charlo. So, and I don't want to see that. Like, I don't want to see either one of them have to fight without their trainer. Like, I just think that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I would rather not see that fight than to see the fight and have one of them without Derrick James. Like, it just don't make sense. Shout out to the brother Jay Grant Jr. in the building. What's good? Johnny C. Baby in the building. What's good? Said Tony didn't use his feet and move around the ring. He made it easy for Tim. Facts. And look, see, this the thing. The reason why I'm more so criticizing Tony for his lack of lateral movement and not really crediting Tim for that, I will give credit to Tim for cutting off the ring, but it wasn't like he went to the body aggressively early in the fight. You know how early in the fight, normally, you know, you want to go to the body and break guys down, like take their legs away. And of course, coupling that, you're cutting off the ring too Tim didn't really do that. He just stayed in front of Tony all night. He didn't really go to the body. So I can't really say, oh, he forced Tony Harrison not to move. Tony he don't got it no more. He don't got the legs. He don't got the legs no more. And it was a small ring, like the brother T Word. Shout out to my brother, shout out to the brother T Word in the building. That's a fact. The ring small, and he cutting that motherfucker off. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother Wookie Wook in the building. What's good? Said, like I said, Tony not only didn't use the ring, but man didn't have no power to keep Tim up off of him. That's facts. That's facts. Said, I gotta blame the power. Yeah, definitely. We can say that it's lack of power, but also Tim didn't really throw. He didn't throw nothing but jabs all night. He didn't throw no right hand. Like, he barely threw the right hand. So we can say it's lack of power, but I think it's lack of power and also just lack of punches in general. He wasn't really throwing shit. Said Tony Dunn, salute, good career, bro. Is gatekeeper or retirement. He's gonna be a great coach though. I agree. Shout out to the brother KBL Gaming in the building. I agree with those sentiments, bro. Like, I think he should just focus on training. He's probably done as a fighter at this point. That's just what it is. Said Tony didn't move and had a limited punch variation. Facts. 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 The right uppercut. Hey, watch when Jermell Charlo fight Tszyu. I was calling for the right uppercut all night. Watch Jermell Charlo throw that right uppercut. Watch. Watch Jermell throw that right uppercut. It's going to be there all night. Watch. That right uppercut going to be there. Shout out to the brother, Mr. Euro Dollars in the building. What's good? Said not long. Woke up here in the UK, bro. Tuned in. I'm going to watch the highlights after this. Already, bro. Salute to y'all over there in the UK. I think it's probably, what is it, like 6, 7 a.m. over there in the UK? I know it's early. Shout out to the brother Brett Curvin in the building. What's good? Said Tim will beat Charlo too. We gonna see. We gonna see. Said Mel Arsenal is too deep to let Tim run up on him like that. That's a fact. Lala D say Brett Woods. Then that's deadly as fuck. Getting in the ring and your heart ain't in it. Facts. Shout out to the brother Drank More Henny in the building. He said, "What's up, fellas? Charlo will KO Tim." I agree. Said, yeah, it's 6 a.m. in the UK, man. Shout out to everybody in the live chat right now, tuning in from the UK at 6 a.m., man. I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to the brother Unstoppable 35. Said Jamel got about 5 different ways he can start Tim. I totally agree. Shout out to my brother Richard Clayton in the building. What's good? Said my girl said it didn't matter who won because both getting slept by Charlo. Facts. Absolutely. We on the same page, brother. We on the same page. But look, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I just wanted to tap in, give y'all a little immediate post-fight reaction. You feel what I'm saying, man? I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Stay tuned. We got more videos coming, more lives. More shorts, you know what I'm saying? Stay tuned into the community tab. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button before you dip out of here. If you came into the live late, make sure you replay this motherfucker and go back from the top. You dig what I'm saying? Make sure you subscribe to the Instagram, Contender Regime Boxing. Also, for the apparel, Contender Regime on Instagram. Just tap in, bruh. Just tap in. Motherfuckers starting to take notice now. We gon' hit 10,000 subscribers this year. That's a fact. So look, stay locked in. We gonna keep growing. We gonna keep doing our thing, man. Hey, Contender Regime, Boxing, I'll holler at y'all, man. Y'all have a great night. I'll talk to y'all later.